And we are live on Facebook. Dr. Radha, we are live on Facebook now. Hi guys, welcome to day 7. Actually, day 7 nahi hota, aaj day 6 hi hai, because yesterday, because of the rains, the head of regional head of crime, Mr. Nilendu Kumar, couldn't join us. His electricity supply was gone. So that has been rescheduled to tomorrow for your intimation, guys. Tomorrow on 8th August at 5 p.m. we'll be having the talk on underprivileged. But joining us today is Dr. Radha Rao from Cradle Apollo, Bangalore. She's a senior obstetrician and gynecologist at Cradle. And as you know, I am yours truly, Dr. Farah Adam, a general physician from Narayan Hrudayalaya, Bangalore, a part of Baby Chakra, and author of the book, Newborns and New Moms. You can buy the copy now. The link is below. Prime Day chal raha hai. 50 rupees all price nikal gaya. So get your copy right away. And today's topic is of concern to everybody in the world, actually, not just in India, not just in Bangalore, to everybody. Pregnancy, health, childbirth, and postpartum in COVID-19 times. And Dr. Radha Rao is our expert today joining me. And welcome on board, ma'am. Thank you so much for joining us.
A very big hello. Thanks, Dr. Farah, for the introduction. Thanks to Baby Chakra. I'm very pleased to be on live today on Facebook. And it's a very pertinent topic, COVID-19, pregnancies, childbirth, and beyond.
So today we're going to be talking about COVID-19 and the impact on pregnant moms. We're going to be addressing ye jo, ma'am, are you comfortable if I speak in Hindi English mix because 60%
Yes.
Baby Chakra? Yeah. So are you comfortable speaking in Hindi, ma'am?
We'll see that. Yes, I am.
Oh, great.
Yes.
Okay, so I'll be a little bit of English. You can be comfortable as you like. And we're going to be addressing जो risk होते हैं और safety concerns है pregnant औरतों को, हम लोग उसके बारे में बात करेंगे और extra precautions क्या ले सकते हैं आप अगर आप pregnant है, आपके खुद के तनाव लेवल जो है, mental stress जो है COVID-19 के सिनेरियो में कि मैं अल्ट्रासाउंड के लिए जाऊं कि नहीं जाऊं, मैं ये वाला अल्ट्रासाउंड स्किप करूं कि नहीं, सब चीज डॉक्टर राधा राव हमको अपडेट करने वाले हैं आज. एंड जो स्केयर चल रहा है ना COVID-19 का, कितना फाउंडेड है, ब्रेस्ट फीडिंग कर सकते नहीं कर सकते, कौन से सिनेरियो में कर सकते हैं, कौन से में नहीं करना चाहिए, कौन से में एक्सप्रेस करके देना चाहिए, सब डिस्कस करने वाले हैं. इफ यू कैन नॉट कंप्लीटली वॉच आवर लाइव, ये रिकॉर्डिंग रहेगी बेबी चक्रा के ऐप पे भी और फेसबुक पेज पे भी, सो यू कैन वॉच इट एंड शेयर इट विद एवरीवन यू लव. Okay, so starting with the first question is just generally, ma'am, introduce us ki COVID-19 and the scare and what is the scenario in the OBG world? What are you seeing with the pregnant women?
Yes. So here we are today. So today is the 7th of August, 2020, and there are nearly 20 million cases worldwide. And India is nearly hitting 2 million cases. So obviously this infection does not discriminate between age, sex, nothing. So a lot of people are infected, older age group, younger age group, but of course it's more in the younger age category. Pregnant women are also infected, but the good news is they're not at increased risk. So what we have seen so far, pregnant women, though their immune system is altered in pregnancy, they seem to be as at risk as anybody else. It's not like they're going to have a very severe infection or they are more at risk. The stake is higher because a pregnant woman is carrying a baby, so we want her to be protected. That is there, but the incidence in pregnant women is the same as if she were not. So that is the good news. The scene out here is that a lot of women are getting pregnant. It's not a great time to get pregnant during a pandemic because there are a lot of fears. Maybe not medical fears, there are logistic concerns about how to access healthcare and what to do next. Hospitals are trying to deal with COVID patients, and here we are with pregnant women who need to have their normal care. And many hospitals we are only dealing with COVID patients. Some of them are dealing with half COVID and half normal OPDs. So there could be a lot of such concerns among pregnant women. So as I said, the good news is pregnancy. It's a lot of women are getting COVID infection, but they are dealing with it just like everybody else. So 80 to 90% of the infections may be asymptomatic or mild. A few of them may have severe symptoms, but only about 5% may need hospitalization because of COVID. And of course, as in general population, 1% can get critical and may need ICU care. So that is the scene right now. And also women who have delivered, I know there are concerns about breastfeeding. The problem, we know that in pregnancy, the transmission of this infection is a concern to the baby. And transplacental transmission, there is no evidence of that. So baby is not getting infected through the placenta, and the amniotic fluid cultures have not shown the virus. But breastfeeding is a unique situation because of the proximity. So that will be a concern that we are going to address. And since this is the breastfeeding week, what best to do about that? In the breast milk, the transmission can be very mild, but the WHO recommends breastfeeding even in COVID mothers with a few precautions. We will come to that a little later.
Yeah. In fact, today I came across a video. UNICEF had made this video a couple of months back in which they say that please continue breastfeeding, sanitize your hands. So your regular precautions that are there, suppose you're COVID positive and you don't want to infect your loved ones, आपके family में जो है, तो precautions तो वही है. And there's an added advantage for all the mothers, आपको जानना जरूरी है कि अगर आप कोविड पॉजिटिव हैं और आप ब्रेस्ट फीड कर रहे हैं, जो किड्स इज नॉट प्रीटर्म, वो बच्चा प्रीटर्म नहीं है, नॉर्मल बर्थ हुई थी, उसको अगर आप दूध पिलाएंगे तो आपकी बॉडी जो फाइट करी इन्फेक्शन को, वो जो पदार्थ होते हैं जिसको एंटीबॉडी बुलाते हैं, वो बच्चे को भी जाएंगे. तो बच्चे को इम्यूनिटी बिल्ड हो रही है ब्रेस्ट मिल्क से. वरना अगर आप बोलेगे बच्चे को दूसरे रूम में रखो, उसको फॉर्मूला दो, मेरा दूध मत दो, दूध से ट्रांसमिशन बहुत मिनिमल है. माँ का ट्रांसमिशन बच्चे को बहुत मिनिमल. ये बहुत अच्छी चीज डॉक्टर राधा ने बताई. बच्चे को माँ से कोख में, वूम में जो इन्फेक्शन मिलने का बहुत मिनिमल रिस्क है, वेरी ऑलमोस्ट क्लोज टू निल. तो अगर आप प्रेग्नेंट है तो डोंट कंसिडर थिंग्स लाइक टर्मिनेशन. अगर आप यू फाइंड आउट, अनलेस फॉर एनी अदर रीजन, COVID should not be a reason for termination. You know, the COVID scare. If you're comfortable with carrying on the pregnancy, if this child is welcome, please go ahead. Otherwise, it is your personal call. Let not COVID pandemic or a COVID positivity in your family or in your own case be a reason for termination. Moving on, what are the precautions a pregnant woman needs to take, ma'am, to avoid getting COVID when she comes for her regular antenatal checkup? Like say it is that ultrasound. And another question which adds to this is, what is the practice going on in among the gynecologists right now? Like, have they reduced the number of visits? Have they reduced the number of scans? What are they doing to make sure the woman comes less in contact with healthcare personnel and come less in contact with lab people and get optimal care?
Right. See, that's a very pertinent question. Yes. I will just talk about what you told about termination, unplanned pregnancies. We'll spend a few minutes at the end of the talk. Sure. So coming to a pregnancy, how to go about it in COVID times. Pregnancy, there are certain visits that cannot be done by video consultation. So video consultation, teleconsultation is an absolute added boon in this era. Technology has to be used. That is one thing. But I will start off the journey. See, if a woman tests her pregnancy, you can always get a test kit at home and do your pregnancy test. So a woman is positive. So she's usually around 4 to 5 weeks pregnant at that time. Do you need to access healthcare at that time? Not necessarily. So unless a woman has any severe lower tummy pain or bleeding, you can wait for a while. We normally scan and make sure it's a pregnancy growing in the right place, that is inside the uterus, around 7 to 8 weeks, unless you have some problem. So otherwise we can postpone that visit to 7 to 8 weeks. If your area is in lockdown and you're not able to access healthcare, this can be done at 12 weeks. But what we have found is a lot of pregnancies in the tube called ectopic pregnancies were getting missed. So this kind of scan to confirm the dating and to confirm that it's growing in the right place is a good idea, around 7 to 8 weeks. Now you can club that with your initial blood test, because we need to do the thyroid test, the blood grouping and other infection screening. So whenever you come to the hospital, maximize your visit. That is my advice to all the pregnant women. So blood test, scan, doctor's visit, everything to be maximized in one visit. And of course, you may have some very concerning early pregnancy symptoms, apart from bleeding and pain, annoying symptoms like vomiting and acidity and things like that. And there are remedies for that. Make sure you're on folic acid supplements. So this would be in the first trimester. Now the main scan then comes at 12 weeks. Now this 12-week visit cannot be skipped. We also do screening for Down syndrome, which is called double marker. The good thing is we have a new test called NIPT. That is also to rule out Down syndrome, but it can be done over a long period of time. You don't have to come at 12 weeks. We can do it anywhere from 9 to 10 weeks up to 20 weeks. It's a simple blood test. So if your scanning date goes a little up, down, there's always a backup test available. Now, other visits such as 16 weeks, now this can be a video consultation, but the 20-week scan again is essential. As you know, that's a head-to-toe scan of the baby. And in India, because our rules say that we have to find out if the baby has any major problems, this scan has to be done at 20 weeks. Now, the other visits at 24, 8-week visit usually is done. This is because we rule out gestational diabetes and we have to give an injection for people who are Rh negative and things like that. The subsequent visits at 32 or 34, 36 weeks, now that has to be tailor-made for the patient. We usually do it because in our profession, we have to see the patient, we have to check their BP, look at them and do the basic checks and advice for the next step. But my suggestion is, when you go and see the doctor, always ask them, can you do the next visit as a video consult? So that's a good way to minimize your visits. So apart from this, in hospitals, we are taking great care. We have reduced the number of appointments. So waiting times is also reduced. So SMS, as you know, so sanitize your hands, use your masks, preferably N95 masks, and social distancing. Now this has to be observed in the hospitals, everywhere that you go. Yeah.
And
so,
And I'd like to add to this. तो basically, मैम ने जो अभी कहा है हम सबको कि जो first visit है, आप घर पे pregnancy test कर लो. Now, suppose I want to add my own concern कि suppose एक औरत has copper T. Now, उसका chance ज़्यादा रहता है ectopic pregnancy का. They are at a little higher risk of अगर copper T है और वो conceive कर गई, उसका ectopic rule out करना ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है. So what would you suggest? Not wait until 8 weeks or 12 weeks, right, ma'am, for a copper T?
So people who have copper T or those who've had a previous ectopic pregnancy, those who have a known tubal problem, and those who develop any bleeding or pain, once they skip their periods and you see a light line. So those are the patients who cannot, you have to come and get your
so un log wait nahi karna. So what I would suggest is go for a teleconsult. Tell your doctor all your problems. And at that point, she'll tell you, okay, do these blood tests and come and see me so that you minimize the number of visits. But you go to the doctor आपको देखेगा, आप अपना concern बताएंगे, फिर आप blood test ले जाओगे, आपको फिर से visit करना पड़ेगा. So here you can do a teleconsult followed where she tells you, do these tests and come and see me. Do the scan and come and see me. So जो 3 चक्कर हो रहे हैं, वो 1 चक्कर में बदल गया. Right? So you go, then you go to the lab and then you come.
Yeah. So most of us do only one visit. So we do the scan and blood test. Blood test is communicated so they can check it online.
Right.
And send it back to us. So to see the reports, unless there's a problem, we have reduced that visit anyway. Yeah. See, this is for a normal pregnancy, the precautions to be taken. I know there are some questions you're going to ask. Is there increased risk of miscarriage, stillbirths, and congenital abnormalities? So if I conceive during COVID time, or if any of my neighbors have COVID, or I get COVID, am I at increased risk? Correct. See, the good news is no, but we don't have a lot of evidence yet. But from what we know, the risk of miscarriage, stillbirths are not increased because of COVID. We have found that COVID virus can infect the placenta, and a lot of cultures have been taken and this virus has been identified in the placenta. But a direct relation between COVID infection and the miscarriage or a stillbirth has not been established. So we are fine.
Correct.
And there are a lot of mothers who may catch COVID and then they are fine, they recover. So we do a scan about 4 weeks after that. So we have to treat COVID as any other infection. So we have been living with other infections since so many years. So we have to scan afterwards and check. So generally we scan after 4 weeks and check what is happening.
And then, it's like how we treat dengue in pregnant women, supportive treatment, platelet count low. Dengue जैसा है, right now as we speak the information is supportive treatment, जिसमें अगर बीपी लो है आप फ्लूइड्स देंगे, आप फीवर को कंट्रोल करेंगे, आप खांसी को कंट्रोल करेंगे, अगर पेशेंट को कुछ गायनोलॉजिकल प्रॉब्लम्स है जिसके वजह से उसको बेड रेस्ट की जरूरत है, तो यू विल इंश्योर सच थिंग्स. सो द केयर ऑफ द कोविड सिचुएशन एक प्रेग्नेंट औरत के लिए और एक नॉर्मल पर्सन के लिए इट्स प्रीटी मच द सेम. अगर प्रेग्नेंट औरत को डेंगू हुआ, नॉर्मल इंसान को, नॉर्मल मतलब नॉन प्रेग्नेंट पर्सन को डेंगू हुआ, treatment is the same. So COVID ka approach doctors are taking as this only. Ma'am, tell us more about what are you seeing in terms of breastfeeding? Are people reluctant to breastfeed?
I just have one word about COVID infection. Now, if you get it in pregnancy, so the main thing is, as I said, 80% are mild or asymptomatic. So you're going to recover. And so first 3 months is an important time. Baby's organs are forming. So you have to take special care. And the same as well later on. So as you approach your due date, normally in private hospitals here, we are doing COVID testing for our patients, and routinely we screen them. So this is because we want them to feel safe, and we want our healthcare to be healthcare staff to be safe, and we want to know what degree of protection to use when we are delivering the patient, right? So COVID testing is being done routinely prior to delivery. So that could be starting from 37 weeks earlier if you have some risk factors. So if you do get COVID, of course, you're taking all these precautions, as I said, SMS, sanitize, mask, social distancing. Despite all this, unfortunately, you get the infection. So 80-90% of the time it's a mild infection. You go through this and your pregnancy continues as normal. But if you are towards the later stages, 37 weeks plus, you get the infection, that is when we have to deliver you in a COVID hospital. We have to use full protection. So personal protective equipment. So, but delivery by C-section or normal delivery, that is based purely on obstetric reasons. That means medical reasons. If your baby has a problem or you have BP, sugar, based on that, we have to decide.
So there are no deliveries happening because a patient was COVID positive.
COVID positive, yes.
Right.
So if you do recover, there are a few precautions because pandemic is in an early stage. We'll be very cautious to see if that has left any problem in you. But our hope is that you recover and then we deliver. But if you get the infection after 37 weeks, that becomes tricky. So that is when you have to really take care and make sure that you sanitize, use masks, exposure to other people is kept to a minimum. Sorry, I interrupted you. You were talking about breastfeeding.
Yes, ma'am. No, it's the question is for you only. So the thing is, breastfeeding, there's some reluctance because of the close contact. And what do you practice in your hospital at Cradle?
One thing is we are not a COVID hospital, Apollo Cradle Jayanagar. So
it's for deliveries.
Yeah, if we come to know the patient is positive afterwards, that is different. But knowingly, we don't admit COVID positive patients. We refer them. We have certain centers where we refer them. So patients who are COVID positive, the evidence that is there right now so there are actually two trains of thought. So what we are doing here in private hospitals where they have good backup, they have somebody who can look after the baby, is a person who's definitely COVID positive, delivers a baby. You separate the baby from the mother and you test the baby after 24 hours. The mother removes the breast milk and somebody else, feeds the baby because we know there is no transmission through the breast milk. The only problem is the close proximity. So after about 10 days, once mother also becomes non-infective, they restart direct breastfeeding. While the other train of thought, and that's what WHO recommends, is the benefits of breastfeeding far outweigh.
Yeah.
So here, I think we should say that breastfeeding, breast is best. And it also gives you immunity, not only against COVID-19, but many other conditions. So the problem is you have to wear an N95 mask. So it's a droplet infection, airborne disease. So you have to wear an N95 mask. Of course, no mask for the baby. So you are feeding always with the mask on. And while you're not feeding, keep the baby so a 2-meter distance away, or you can put a curtain between the mother and the baby, and always sanitize. So wash your hands before and after feeding. And so precautions like this have to be taken, but you can continue to breastfeed. That's what WHO recommends. And that's what our NNF and our FOXY, the Indian organizations, also recommend continuing breastfeeding even in COVID-19 mothers.
Okay. So you were going to tell us about the miscarriage. We were going to come to the last leg. So please tell us a bit about that.
So yes, so we thought initially there was anecdotal evidence of increased miscarriage once this pandemic began. And there were some reports that were pouring in that, yes, maybe it has increased the risk of miscarriage, and risk of stillbirths were also being reported. Now, there are a lot of reasons for miscarriages and stillbirths in pregnancy. And so these were reported in general, not in COVID positive mothers. In COVID positive mothers, also there have been some anecdotal incidents of this happening. But what the main organizations are saying that there is not enough evidence to say that COVID-19 increases the risk of miscarriage or stillbirth. Right. So okay. That is either the American or the Royal College or NICE or WHO. So it's not a great time to get pregnant, but if you are pregnant, don't get anxious, take care of yourself, and use all the precautions that are necessary. And of course, the other thing I should have said while I was talking about pregnancy is immunity and good food, nutrition, mental health, and supplements. So we routinely prescribe vitamin D supplements now along with folic acid. So boosting immunity through, using certain things like turmeric, so ginger, amla, and all these things can definitely be done. So sunlight exposure daily is very important. Now, where will you walk around? So COVID has reduced the chance of being freely outside, especially in a lockdown. So whether it's inside the house, on the terrace, so you have to get some fresh air, get some exercise. So these are the practical challenges that we are facing right now.
I'll tell a bit about my perspective, what I saw. There are patients going a little bit crazy reading the news. So I suggest to not just pregnant ladies, this is for everybody actually, that please limit your news time. In the evening hours, don't open the news. It has an effect on you that lasts. So news, maybe once update a day to know, okay, we are in a containment zone or not. You don't need to go. There was a point where my patients were going crazy with the COVID-19 tracker. There was an app or some software, and they would keep seeing where did the case pop in India, and they would be like one red dot coming here, red dot, and they would just go crazy about that. Now that we have become a little jaded, we've gotten used to it. Ha, ye to chalta rahega, ye COVID ka to. Other thing is, I saw that I had two patients who came here to me for after the delivery. They delivered in the COVID time, and I did not meet them during the delivery. The obstetrician take care of that. But for breastfeeding advice, they had come to me. And the biggest challenge that I am seeing practically after delivery is that your mom-in-law, whoever was going to come, cook for them, help them take care of the baby, help them adjust and settle with the baby in the first 2 months, was not able to come because of the lockdown. And now the lockdowns have relaxed and people are moving about. COVID scare ke alawa, that time the lockdown, people not getting passes to cross the border and coming from not getting flights. So that was a huge problem. And that is when, I would consult with them, and, I would sensitize the husband to this problem that, even though yours is a work from home, but, you are entitled to a paternity break, have the talk with your manager, give her the full support she deserves, learn a bit of, simple, healthy recipes that will be filling for the mother. You need to help her out. And the pregnant women who came to me, they didn't come to me, they all did video consults. They were so scared to come. I advised them that you start preparing in the last trimester, like in the 9th month, you can stockpile these kinds of foods in your freezer that you can use to whip out a dish in no time. Like, you make masala cubes and keep. You'll get a dish in no time. Stock the laddus and keep, you'll get a midnight snack ready for you. You don't have to depend on some protein bars, to fill your stomach. I like, make the methi ka laddu, make the gond ka laddu and keep. And in fact, when this book, my book, Newborns and New Moms, ma'am, you have to give me your address. I'm going to be sending this to you. I would really love your review. In fact, we wrote the COVID-19 chapter. My editor told me we are getting the people who knew about this book being written, they said, please include an epilogue on the COVID-19. So in fact, all that you have spoken, one point I want to add, which I have put in my book also, please guys, don't second guess your gynecologist. We need to bring the faith back in the doctors. Because because of the COVID-19, because of the uncertainty, na log एक डॉक्टर से बात की, फिर दूसरे डॉक्टर से बात की, and they keep second guessing, and no two doctors will give the exact same advice, because theory we all learn the same thing. In practice, it is little different. I give you one brand of folic acid. Other doctor, for example, gives you another brand. Second guessing your doctor. We don't need to second guess a doctor. Have faith in your doctor. They're doing what is best for you. We need to bring back the respect for our doctors. We're trusting our lives. So have a little faith in their prescriptions also. You don't need to go in Google, go in Practo, find another doctor, find a third opinion, fourth opinion. Let's stop that second, third, fourth opinion and trust your gynecologist.
But Dr.
Have faith
I
in
have
him.
found that the faith that my patients have put in me has actually increased during this pandemic.
Oh, that is actually so fabulous. That is fantastic. But you know,
Because-
ये जो general practice रहती है ना Google करने की,
Correct.
that I find so disheartening sometimes, you know.
Yes, true. That's a very good point. The dynamics of the family has changed. And as
Yes.
correctly pointed out, last 3-4 months, so it's all nuclear families here. They've not had support of parents and they have managed. So the very positive point I want to put across.
Yeah.
So couples living abroad used to manage having a baby by themselves, shopping, feeding the baby, and feeding themselves, keeping the house clean and cooking and everything. So now parents are doing it here as well. So that's a new skill that both the husband and the wife have to learn. Fast track, crash course, learn how to take care of yourself. There's no maid, no cook, nothing. But it can be done. It can be done. It's not you're all responsible, educated adults doing brilliant jobs. So this is something that you can do. And also the other thing that you mentioned, the other change we do is we don't allow too many people to come in the OPD or during scanning.
Yes.
So that's a good point. So that's something that I want all the patients to cooperate with. So only for very important and critical meetings we call the husband in, or the whoever is there to support the woman. Otherwise it's one person. That's because you increase the numbers in the OPD. Again, there is crowding and all the problems that are associated with overcrowding and COVID. So also during ultrasound scan, so we are only allowed to get the woman in because the radiologist is also at risk and they spend a long time with the patient. So more than 20-30 minutes scanning one patient. So we can only allow the patient to come in. So these are a lot of changes that we have made during COVID times, but the husband can be on the call. So the husband can listen to what we are saying, but please tell your consultant that your doctor that you have put them on the call. So either a video or audio call. Your husband can listen to what we are speaking, but it will be only you coming in for the consultation. Yes.
That's actually a very good point, ma'am. And if you are a friend of someone who's expecting and who delivers at this time, don't call her up and, you know, make it about yourself by telling, I want to come see your baby right away. I want to come see you.
Yes.
Support her. Give her a listening ear. Support her in different ways. See, she's already overwhelmed. There's no maid. There's no cook. There's no mother. There's no mother-in-law. She has too much on her plate already. Offer that I'll do your grocery shopping. You just tell me what you need. You just tell me over the phone, I'll do the shopping, I'll do the diaper shopping, I'll support you in that way, I'll buy the clothes. She can pay ATM it to you later. You know, it's all a virtual world. Everything is happening online. We are living online. We are practically living online nowadays.
You have to speak to them,
So
you have to share.
Support your friend in that way.
With friends, relatives, you were talking about the mental health. Absolutely. So you have to share your feelings. Our pregnant women are getting more anxious, depressed. God knows what is going on in their minds with all COVID happening around them. Patients, next door neighbors coming positive, people coming positive. They want to protect themselves. So please talk about it, and your friends and family are the big support. And also the relatives, even in the hospital when they are admitted. So whether it's a normal delivery or a C-section, we allow only one person to come at a time and make sure that they are, not the elderly people, it could be a husband or it could be somebody under 55 who can help you out instead of putting elderly people at risk of infection coming to the hospital. So that is really important. And even like, grandma used to look after the baby, and the baby used to get a lot of attention from 10 people at home. So that won't be happening. It will be just single people coming and helping you out. Yes, I think that will be a big change.
And in fact, suppose there are some hospitals which you have to take food for a person who's just delivered. You have to get it from home. So make a single point of contact. Maybe it could be the husband. He's the only one making the run to the hospital. The woman gets discharged for whatever reason she's there in the hospital. Maybe it's a cesarean, maybe the kid has jaundice. For whatever her stay is prolonged. So make sure कि एक इंसान hospital का contact करे. कि ऐसा नहीं कि सबकी duty लगे, आज ये जा रहा है, कल मामा जा रहे हैं, then mommy is going. Let's like try to if you're lucky enough to have your family here to support you, great, but make one point of contact, the person who make sure that sare supplies are rahe hain, the clothes for the mother, for the baby, the fresh laundry, whatever it is, for whatever reason if the mother is in the hospital. So make sure there's only one person keeps coming and going out of the in and out of the hospital, and not the entire family again and again. And don't make it easy for the couple to have the choice to tell couple hai, or it's a single mother, or whatever the case. Make it easy for them by not having to have the hard conversation with you and tell you, keep flies, please don't come. Because the lockdown has relaxed, people want their freedom back with a vengeance. So guys, make it easy, be more understanding, be more sympathetic, and offer practical help. Can I do your shopping? Can I do something for you? Can I offer you a listening ear? After delivery, she'll be running through a lot of work, a lot of emotions. She'll be all over the place. Arrange a lactation consultant for her if she's having trouble. Ask her for a teleconsultation, arrange a lactation consultant. Don't make her, half an hour will go finding reviews. You can do that for her. You can help your pregnant woman, a pregnant friend. And if there is a baby shower happening, what are you going to do? You're going to be socially distant from your friend, and you are going to gift her this. Please, guys, this is very important for the Indian urban woman. Extremely important, practical viewpoint. If you're pregnant, best time to read this. Tell them that this will give you the perspective, ki realistic perspective. Newborns and new moms out now. Amazon Prime deals is giving you a 50% extra discount, 50 rupees extra discount. Get your copies now. Link is down below. Dr. Radha, I would really be honored if you.
One point I would like to make, Farah, all our classes are online. So once patients are in the 32 weeks plus of pregnancy, so birth classes are being conducted online. And a bit about mental health, as you said, anxiety is creeping in and things. So there is meditation, there's breathing exercises, there are many things that women can do. And I would like them to do all this. There are some people who get very affected. I'm hoping most of them are able to cope with what they hear. That is one thing. The other point, we were talking about contraception. I would like to make a point. Obviously, you're pregnant, you have to deal with it. And as I said, it's not too bad as of now. So if you want to prevent getting pregnant, so there are many kinds of contraceptive options. For that, you can first of all have a video consultation. Depends on the regularity of your cycles, your age, how many kids you have had, for how long you want to prolong your postpone your pregnancy and things. So you can use condoms, you can use pills, oral contraceptive pills, and you can use progesterone only pills if you're breastfeeding your baby, and you can go for a copper T. So that will be a one visit where we put in a device and you're protected.
What time would you ask them to come?
So just after the period, they can come. So within a few days of your last period, you can come and put a copper T or a Mirena, which is a new medicated copper coil. So because a lot of unplanned pregnancies that may happen, and prevention is better than cure. So if you're not planning for it, make sure you use precaution. So that is my message to all the women out there. Yes.
Ma'am, it was so breezy talking to you, so easy breezy. It was so nice to have you on Baby Chakra. Thank you so much for gracing us with your knowledge and wisdom. And Baby Chakra, all my audience, this is not the last day of the BIB summit because of the Mumbai rains. Yesterday's summit got cancelled. Mr. Nilendu Kumar will be joining us tomorrow. He's a representative of CRY from Mumbai. He'll be joining us, and we are going to be talking about breastfeeding lessons in the underprivileged. And please join us. It's a fundraiser. We'll be giving you all the details tomorrow in our creative. And join us tomorrow at 5 p.m. Dr. Radha, it was wonderful having you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Farah. Thanks to Baby Chakra as well. It was wonderful talking to all of you, and I hope this talk was informative and they will feel more connected and happy and less anxious, less depressed, and more upbeat about the situation around them. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye, ma'am.